You are listening to Resilient Life, the podcast where we explore the power of resiliency. I'm Nikita Ross. It is my hope that listening to this podcast will give you the tools to connect with and increase your resiliency. So join me on this adventure of self-discovery and self-love. Welcome back to another episode of Resilient Life. I'm your host, Nikita Ross. And today's episode is slightly different. In today's episode, I want to put out a friendly, loving challenge. I want to challenge us to stop, pause, reflect, and question just this one area, this one aspect of our lives. I was listening to a recording from Ram Dass, and this is not going to be a spiritual or religious episode, I promise. But there is something in one of his talks that resonated with me that I feel like we as humans, all of us, could really stop and pause and reflect on. And so here it is. How many times have we said, each of us, me, you, them, have we said, if only, which prevented us from either living life fully, from taking chances, from being grateful in our lives. It prevented us from showing up fully for our friends and family. And I'll give some examples because when I first heard it, I was like, I don't if only. That's not something I do. I'm very grateful for my life. And I'll give some examples and maybe one or two resonate with you. And if not, that's fine. Think of other ones that will. So an example would be, if only my weight were different. If only my body were different. If only my eyes were different. If only I didn't have this job. If only I wasn't stuck at this job. If only I had the perfect job. If only I lived in my dream house. If only I had my dream partner. If only my partner would do these things. If only my best friend would do these things. If only. How many times I had to sit down, reflect, and really be honest with myself and think about the things, because sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes it's the little things. I would do XYZ if only I had help with XYZ, my kids, my health issues, my whatever it is, if only. So here is why this resonated with me so much. Sometimes without realizing it, we get stuck in if only, and then we look up and years have passed by because we've been if onlying ourselves to stuckness. Versus, what's the alternative? Versus if we accept what we have, accept what is, or change, right? Because if we are in an unhealthy relationship, we definitely don't want to accept that. So we make a change. There are certain things that we have to accept. So accept the fact that I have allergies, or I have whatever it is for you. Some things we have to accept, right? I have to accept the fact that I have moles. I mean, technically I could get them removed, but I choose to accept that. So if we accept our current situation instead of if onlying ourselves, then we could live life more fully. We could be more grateful. We could feel less stressed, less depressed, less stuck. I know my if onlys make me feel stuck. I don't necessarily feel depressed, but I feel stuck with my if onlys. If only I had this thing and that thing. I have two specific things that I realize I if only, my life would be perfect. The other part is, in the acceptance, is not only accepting what we can't change, accepting what the cards that we have been dealt, to use that metaphor. But accepting that sometimes things are the way they are for a reason. We can't change it, and we accept it, and it helps us grow and learn and be happier and healthier. So, this is a really short video today. I just wanted to challenge us, myself included, because if only, to stop and think about the times that we have if only. And do we want to accept it because it's us, or do we want to make a change? Either way, let's stop if only in ourselves into submission. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope this episode gave you some tools to connect with and increase your resiliency. I'm proud of you. Let's keep up the momentum. Follow Resilient Life on your favorite podcast platform and on YouTube at Resilient Life Podcast. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.